Hello, everyone. Welcome to Friday Live. Thank you so much for joining me again this Friday as I bring you some arty inspiration for the weekend. So, of course, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Ashley Hay. I'm a mixed media artist and I also am the importer of Powertex for Australia. So yes, I do love the Powertex art supplies and I use it in my own artwork and have done since 2010. So today I am hoping to share with you some inspiration to get you really excited about creating this weekend. So, of course, please let me know that you're here because it's really nice to see who is here, and I will see your comments along the way. So, if you do have any questions or comments, please drop them in the chat. And even if you're watching in replay, I do go back in and I do have a look at those comments. So, and I look at your questions. So please make sure that you post those. Hey, Nicole from Three Hearts Art Studio, Corinne from Bridgetown, and of course, I think my screen might have frozen, but hopefully you can all still hear me. So please let me know that you can hear me and everything is good with the streaming. So I might just, okay, so I might just change the setting. Hang on, I'll see if I can get the streaming going a bit better. Okay, so I have changed that a little bit and hopefully you can all hear me and see me now. So Karen, hey, lovely to see you. So Karen, of course, is Karen Ridley, textile artist. She was on a couple of weeks ago. If you missed that, then that one is definitely worth watching. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of what we are going to cover today. And what we are looking at is we are looking at photo transfers and mixed media. This has been a theme that we've been looking at throughout June. So if you have missed any of the live streams, be sure to check back on them. It has been an exciting month of doing photo transfers on metal and looking at metal art possibilities. And I am excited because next week, Nicole Walsh from Enigma Art is going to be joining me for an interview and we're going to be showcasing her artwork. And she has done some incredible experimentation with photo transfers and she has made some concertina books and she's done a whole heap of other stuff. So it's going to be super exciting, that interview next week. So be sure to join me again. But for today, we want to get into some arty inspiration and I'm going to show you some ideas for artwork within an artwork part 2, where we are looking at extending our artwork. So let's check out the art table. So this is actually a photo transfer. It is done onto a cradle board. And then there is lots of mixed media actually on this piece. So it incorporates stone art, it's got the bronze Powertex, ivory Powertex, it's got vistas, it's got a bit of fabric, it's got stenciling, it's got lots of different layers. And so, of course, last week I was saying that the magic is really in the layers. So what I'm talking about this week is really incorporating your photo transfer into the image and either extending the image and really making it a cohesive artwork like this one, or actually making the photo transfer itself the hero of the image, but you've then still got an artwork within an artwork. So this one is actually part of my online photo transfer and mixed media course, which you will actually find on Ashley Hay Art Academy. And it is actually a course that I spent quite a lot of time doing, and you'll find that with my online courses, they are like Friday Live on steroids, and they actually go into a lot of depth. So it is as if you are in the studio with me. So if you love what we've been doing this month and talking about photo transfers and you want to do more, then this is an excellent course. I'll put those details in the chat so that you can actually check it out and see what it's like. So I'll show you another piece. Hang on, where have I put it? I'll just pop it so that you can see the whole art table again. And this one is another piece that you will find in the online course. So it actually takes you step by step through the entire process of creating the artwork. I show you how to get these incredible rocky effects, and like I say, it is actually as if you're there with me. So let's talk a bit more about the theme that we've been doing, but I do love these ones where I actually extend the image. This is actually something I do quite a lot, and I really enjoy it because what I do is I try and work with the same colours that are in the photograph to actually extend the imagery. So I'm picking up some of these colours that are actually in the photograph, and I'm using the same sort of colours within the actual image itself. So it's really important when you are working with the photos that you're not choosing colours that clash with the colours that are already there. So for instance, you might put a warmer blue in than the cool blue turquoise that's actually in the water, and it might end up actually clashing. So you can see that these crackle effects that are here actually complement the colours that are in the photograph. All the rock effects do the same thing, so they are actually complementing all the colours that are actually in the actual image. You'll notice as well that one of the things that is not apparent is where the edge of the photograph is. The most apparent part in this one is here, where I could actually bring these rock effects over into here a little bit further, and it would actually tie in with the photograph a little bit more so that the photograph actually totally disappears. And this is a really nice way of creating a focal point without having to you paint it, so which is really nice. So you can take some really beautiful photos of areas or places that you've travelled to. This one is actually in New Zealand, and you can actually incorporate it into your artwork. You will learn so much from actually taking a photo transfer and extending it into your mixed media, like I have done in this piece, because you learn about colour. You learn about how to, sort of apply all those beautiful textures that you can do with your Powertex art supplies into your actual piece. So it's so much fun. And as I say, this is something that I love doing with my photo transfers. It's really lovely as well for underwater photos where you can actually extend the image of the water and the corals and things like that as well. So it is a bit exciting. So with the mixed media, I do like to work on a cradle board. So it is a little bit heavier, but you can do it on canvas as well. So the other one that I've got there is actually on canvas. I'm just reaching down to pick it up again. So this one is actually on canvas. It is still quite heavy in terms of the texture that is actually in there. And again, you can see how I have selected colours that actually complement the imagery that is actually in the photograph. So it's a really, really lovely way of taking your holiday photos and turning them into something really special to reflect your trip. So it is, as I say, a really cool technique doing these photo transfers. Alrighty, so let me show you something else. So I'm going to show you some more metal possibilities with actually doing the artwork within the artwork too. I'm going to talk you through how I have actually incorporated something onto here. So let me just pull these banging around here, so you're probably getting those lovely banging sounds coming through, but you know, all will be revealed shortly. So who has started playing with metal transfers? Let me know in the chat if this is something that you have actually started to do. So let's take a look at the art table again. So I guess the first thing with the photo transfers is something you can do is you can have a look at backgrounds that you have already created. So this is a background that I've got several backgrounds here that I've already created, and I'm going, that could tie in with those colours. So you can see how these colours are actually, you know, kind of reflected in here, but it's also the textures. And I can still wipe these back because this is done with Vista. And of course, the Vista actually isn't fixed until I actually fix it with something. So like an art spray varnish or with the powder fix that you can actually spray on. And it will fix the Vista. So the great thing with the Vista is I can keep working it. I can change these colours and actually, you know, lighten it up, paint back into it, get some of these colours coming back through. But you can see how none of these colours are actually clashing with the image. I'm thinking I'm going to go over this bit because I don't particularly like that yellow. And so I would then consider, okay, how am I going to incorporate this? I'm thinking with this one, I'll just cut it out with the guillotine and then I'll actually put it onto the image and then I will actually work the textures. Okay, so that is one. This is another piece that, you know, obviously I've done the photo transfer on metal and then I've gone, okay, what backgrounds do I actually have that would actually go quite nicely with this particular piece? So you can see that, you know, the beautiful rust colours actually go quite well. So the rust effects is a really cool thing to use and incorporate. Please let me know what you would like to do in July. I am thinking that I could do a series of backgrounds including the rust effects and maybe some power wax and things like that. Or I could show you a little sort of starter projects that you can do with some Powertex and mixed media. And if you're in Australia, you could get the kit and play along. So let me know what you prefer for July. And I am planning that at the moment as we speak. And I have some special guests for you over the next few months, like Nicole is coming on next week. Okay, so I would just look at this one and I would just turn it around until I go, yeah, I like it that way, or, you know, does it look better that way? And then I would be going, okay, so how can I actually, you know, put that metal piece on? So you can see it doesn't work as well that way. And so you're constantly looking at what works best. So I prefer this blue to be on the underside here so that you've got the contrast. So I am naturally going to this direction and having it on there. So what's happening is the blue is reflecting the blue up in this corner. So I'm really working with the colours. The rust is tying in really beautifully with the rocks and the landscape. And a little bit, this blue kind of clashes with this really lovely warm blue. But because it's separated, it's kind of picking up these colours here. So you can see that this colour is similar to this colour over here. Yeah, so it's actually pretty cool. All right, so that is that one. Then I've got another background that looks like this. And with this particular background, I really like the background, but I feel like it needs more work. So with all of these backgrounds that I've got here, they've been things that I've sort of played with. And so they are backgrounds that, you know, I can add to, I can add more layers to. And so it makes it a perfect opportunity for me to actually take these and play with them further and go, okay, what can I do with the photo transfers? So you can see that this one actually also ties into this particular piece here. And so again, you can see that the colours aren't actually clashing, they're complementing each other, and they are actually looking nice and cohesive in the image. So what I'm thinking I'd quite like to do with this one, whether it's on this rusty layer or whether it's on this textured sort of more landscape layer, is I'm thinking I'd quite like to mount it onto a board and then raise it up. So how do I do that and what is it going to look like? So this is another piece that with the background is, you know, like I'm not that happy with it. It's a little bit dull and I would like to do some more with the actual background itself, but it has got some really nice textures in it. And you can see how some of the colours are actually still reflected in the actual photo transfer. So what I have done here, and I will put you to the whole art table so that you can see the whole piece. What I have done here is I have actually got, so we'll get this one back again. I've got my photo transfer. If you missed it, I show you how to mount that photo transfer onto a board so that it is actually, it doesn't have the silver edges and it is actually mounted onto like an MDF board so that straight away it would be lifted up. Okay, what this does is it creates a really nice shadow behind the background, so it becomes a real case of artwork within an artwork, and you know, from there then we can actually float it. So what I have done on the other piece that I will now show you is I've actually mounted the metal piece onto a board, and then I've put another board underneath that board like so. So that when this is layered, so if you imagine this is the background layer, I've got the metal sitting up like this and it creates a really beautiful shadow frame behind the metal. So it's not sitting flat on the surface of the artwork, it's actually raised off it. And this is a really nice way of using your photo transfers on a really gorgeous background, and then of course you can paint back into your background to really finish a piece off. So if we take a look at this, I'm going to explain how I've done this. So I'm not sure if you can see, but it's basically got like a big gap in under there, and that is because that board here this one is actually raised off another board here. So what I've done is I've just simply stuck the underboard to the cradle board, and I've actually pinned it on. So I have measured down so that I know exactly where I need to pin it, and I've put Powertex on the board, and then I've actually secured the board onto the other side of the cradle board using the nails from the back. These ones are actually upholstery pins, so they are a little bit shallower. They don't go in as deep, and they're only going to go as deep as this surface. So it's really important to consider how deep your surfaces are. So if I am working with those two surfaces, you can see I have quite a good grip when we consider that, plus the couple of mils that the cradle board is in depth. So once I've attached that underneath board on with my pins, then I want to attach my metal artwork. So if you imagine this has the metal on it, I'm going to actually sit that on there. And so what I've done then is I have used Powertex to join it on, and I have hammered in some nails from the back so that it actually goes through the all the layers to really secure everything together. Now, you'll notice that I have masking tape on here. So the reason being is when I was securing the nails, I didn't want it to move. So I have actually used a ruler, and I have checked that the distances are equal from every side, so that I know that that is going to sit nicely in the middle of my piece, exactly where I want it. So you need to position your piece, and especially if it's got a horizon, it's really, really important to make sure that that horizon actually follows the horizon line. So I could maybe have just offset it a little bit and used the actual horizon line that's in the image in the background. But like I say, I can actually work back into this background because it is looking a little bit dull. It is looking a little bit uninteresting. But once I've got my photo transfer on there, then it's going to give me a better idea of how I can finish the piece overall. So, which is super, super, super exciting. All right, so let's take this masking tape off. And as I say, it was only on there really to register that board. And so hopefully it doesn't take off any of the photo transfer. It really shouldn't, because the photo transfer has been sealed with Easy Coat Glossy, and it is well and truly dry. It'll only be if I scratch the surface with my fingernail that it may actually come away a little bit. And take this one off. So I'm just doing it carefully and slowly, because we really don't want to peel any of the image off. So you don't want to leave your tape on too long, otherwise the tape just adheres more and more over time. And you can see that with this one, this particular section here is just the metal. So it may be that I'll take some of the texture from the background into some of the photo transfer, and but that now gives me the opportunity to work with the piece. So you can see how that image is raised off the surface there, and now I can really work with that piece itself. So pretty exciting, and the possibilities with this are just endless. So, you know, we can actually take those and really, really work with them. So I hope you like that today and you're inspired with some of the possibilities. So of course, you know, as usual, you will find, you know, all of the exciting things that I've talked about. You can actually watch any of the Friday Lives in replay and really get a sense of those. So what I've covered today is really, you know, sort of consider using contrasting colours. I haven't really talked about that, but using contrasting colours can be really great. And also really considering and thinking consciously about your colour choices to enhance and also your textures to enhance what's happening in the artwork and to avoid any colour clashes by using similar shades that are in the photo with your mixed media. So I'm just going to check the comments. Somehow today I didn't see them along the way. So welcome everyone. I'm glad that you've all been able to hear me. Everything is okay. And I did reduce the image resolution so that the screen didn't freeze. Okay, so colour matching is amazing. So that's excellent. So I think, you know, that really is an important thing. And of course, you know, that photo transfer and mixed media course is actually excellent if you want to learn more about Powertex and photo transfers and colour layers. Then you will find heaps and heaps of content on those on that particular online course. So it's photo transfers and mixed media. With all my online courses, you'll find them all on Ashley Hay Art Academy. And there's actually 4 courses on there that are tuition courses. So you'll find the photo transfers and mixed media, Lady in Rags, and there's also a bonus White Angel on that one. There's a mixed media triptych with textural layers, and it also shows you some power wax. And then there is also the rust effects. And what I do with the online courses is once you have purchased the course, if any additional content is added, you actually get access to any additional content that is added into those courses. So it's, like I said earlier, it's like Friday Live on steroids. You get heaps and heaps of information, and you will find those courses. So please join me next week for Friday Live again. And I really thank you for watching. So Carol was here as well from Ladybird Creative Arts. Lovely to see you on here. Karen has said, great information. Love the info remounting the photo and raising it up. Excellent. I'm so glad that you enjoyed that. And I think with that particular process, the really important part is really making sure that you put it in the right place. And just a little tip for you, secure it with that masking tape just until you have it nailed in and secured. And then from there, then take your tape off and it will be registered beautifully. So I hope you've enjoyed that today. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again next week when we have Nicole from Enigma Arts on here with us. I'm very excited to be talking with her. She has been doing some really beautiful work with Powertex art supplies and photo transfers, and just with general textures. So she is an upcoming new trainer for New South Wales. And so if you are in New South Wales, there is now Vicky Cooper, who is in Tamworth. She is newly certified. She does some beautiful work. And Nicole will talk to you next week about where you can find her and how you can join her workshops if you're in New South Wales. So very excited to be having some new trainers for you guys in the Eastern dates, and so that you can access. So for now, have a wonderful creative weekend. Please drop your artworks into the Powertex Australia Creative Hub. Join us there, share with us there, and we will see you next week. So of course, if you want to learn more about Powertex, you can go to powertex.com.au and find some more information there. So ciao now, everyone. Have a wonderful creative weekend, and I'll see you again next week when I'm on with Nicole to chat about her work with photo transfers. Ciao.